Let me guess, you try and stack a few dollars. You ain't trying to blow it all. You need financial knowledge. Need some tips on your taxes, so the IRS ain't bending you backwards. When you're in luck, you're tuned into the master. Wendy Consultant, LLC.
Hey. Happy Friday Eve. I'm actually taping this earlier than what I normally would. I've been super busy, so I have been not remembering to drop off the flash drive for Riley to do my editing. So I thought for this week I'll do it live and post it because it won't be super long because it's just me, because this is actually me re-recording a podcast episode I did because for some reason on GarageBand it did not save the file down. So gotta love technology when you're dealing with it. So, here we are. Let me go ahead and log onto the live from my phone so I can see if there's any questions that might pop up. But, first of all, it's February. So shout out to Black History Month. And if you can't see my shirt, I am repping the Target Black History collection. I got this from Target. Oh, Chauncey. Hey, Chauncey. A fellow accountant. I always love the support of Aggies. But yeah, so I am re-recording this episode. So for me, I guess I'm going to look up more information since it's a little bit more time has passed. But to start this off, I always start off with the quote of the day. And because it's Black History Month, it's got to be coming from somebody African American. And I wanted to do it on no better person than Malcolm X. And the quote that I have is, "Education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today." So that's powerful. Malcolm X died way too early. He was very dope. If you haven't read the Malcolm X book or learned about Malcolm X, please Google him. And there's a really good movie that they did back in the day with Malcolm X and Denzel Washington playing him. So, and everybody's in that movie too, by the way. It's a really good movie. So anyway, do your research on Malcolm X. Very powerful figure during, especially during the civil rights time. Him and Martin Luther King. So to get started, I wanted to talk about student loans. And the reason why I wanted to talk about student loans is because the only thing that Donald Trump ever did for me was he paused student loans, which was really good for me because at the current time, I was just finishing grad school. I literally graduated Friday, December 13th. Shout out to JMU. Shout out to all my, what do they call, because they have a dog too, and I can't even think of their little mascot, but it's gonna do purple and gold, because I can't even think of what JMU's little saying. Oh, Dukes, go Dukes. I'm sorry, my mind went blank. So go Dukes. Shout out to JMU. I finished with that degree, and I'm gonna be very transparent. It's about a $40,000 degree for my master's program, which is very decent. And it was a part-time master program. Not part-time, it was kind of hybrid. You do the classes online, you take it with your cohort, so you take 2 classes a semester, but you take it with your cohort. You meet in person every 8 weeks, and so we got to bond. We took an international trip for 2 weeks out the country for a class. So it was an amazing program. But because when COVID happened, I was supposed to be scheduled to start paying back my student loans in the spring. But of course, Donald Trump paused that. And then, when he left office at the time, Biden hadn't renewed anything. So I had already set up my payment plan to start paying back my student loans. I forgot what it was. But then recently, Biden again stretched out, I think it's until May now that we don't have to pay student loans. So with that said, in my mind, I'm like, the economy hasn't crashed because student loans haven't been paid. The world's not ending. So I'm just trying to understand, why we have to pay back student loans. Why? What's the point? What's the purpose? So I figured if I do it live, I would probably have more questions. I'm gonna see if anybody in the chat has any questions or, what's their feelings on paying back student loans. And I'll see if anybody responds with any feedback. But while I'm doing that, I was trying to remember, it's crazy when you do an episode, I do like pre-work, and I kind of like have information that I want to let people know about. And I'm just remembering now that when I did the podcast the first time, one of the things is that I broke down I broke down student loans and the different types. And I'm going to break down what a subsidized versus unsubsidized is. For all my people who are looking at federal loans, I'm always going to suggest to you that you get a federal loan, because I come from the family of Sally Mae. For all my, my undergrad people who went to school back in the day, Sally Mae is who gave me my money for school. I ended up doing 2 years out of state, and then I got 2 years in state when I went to A&T. But I want to say that I only did federal loans for grad school, so I was smart the second time around. I didn't take out no private money like I did the first time in undergrad. And when I mean private, I mean you literally could ask for the world and they would give it to you, but the interest rate was wild. That was one of the reasons why as soon as I graduated from college, I refinanced them, because some of them were in my parents' name. And I don't know if y'all know, but like there's certain laws that like when you have a student loan, and even if it's within your parents and your name, if I die, my parents are required to pay the loan. So I didn't want that to be a burden on my parents, so I moved everything into my name. So when I die, my loans die with me and not with anybody else. So that's just a little, I don't know if anybody ever had to, I'm trying to think of the word. I don't know anybody that's had to, refinance, or if that was the reason why they refinanced, but that's the reason why I did. Okay, so here we go back to subsidized and unsubsidized loans. So, what is a subsidized? Subsidized is when you must demonstrate a financial need. You have lower loan limits compared with the unsubsidized loan. The education department pays the interest. Okay, they pay the interest. Okay, and then who can borrow? Undergrads are the only people that can borrow for a subsidized loan. Okay, now what unsubsidized is that you do not demonstrate a financial need. You have higher loan limits compared to subsidized, and this is accruing interest while you're in school. And undergraduates, graduates, or professional degree students can get this. So that's the difference between a subsidized and an unsubsidized loan for all my federal loan people out there who may be listening to this. I don't know whoever this reaches. I don't know if I'm ever talking to a student that's in high school, but I want to school you on a little game before. So to me, if I was going back to school and doing this the right way the second time around, I would do a subsidized loan in undergrad, because they're telling me that they're paying my interest while I'm in school, so that I don't even have to worry about that. Because for all people who don't know, they tag on the interest on your loan on the back end. You just don't know about it, but you end up paying so much money. That's why if you can refinance your student loans, because I refinanced maybe 2-3 years ago. I moved them to Navy Federal, and I got to a lower rate. And I think I'm still paying on undergrad, by the way. I just want to throw that out there for all my people who go to school. I graduated in 2009, and it is 2022. I am still paying on undergrad loans, y'all. But I'm almost done. I think I'm under 10 digits. I think I'm under 10,000 now. So, I do want to let people know you still can live and have a life with student loans, but do not let your student loans go into default, especially if they are federal loans, because you will never be able to own a house because you default on a student loan. Okay? If you can't pay them, call them. They let you defer. They have a financial one where if you're not working or something, it's a hardship one, and you don't have to pay anything, maybe $25. But you need to call them, because if you let your loan go into default. If you let your loan go into default, it's a problem. You're not going to be a homeowner, okay? And even if you are able to get a home, you probably will get some crazy loan prices, because you won't be able to get a federal loan, which is a lot better if you can finance a house, because conventional is a lot more, okay? I don't see any questions. I'm trying to think what else I was talking about when I was talking about student loans. It's hard when I'm up here talking to myself. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I had. I think that might be it. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I was missing about, the different financial aid. And also make sure you fill out, I don't want to say it wrong, because they say black people say it's FAFSA or FAFSA. I call it a FAFSA, but I think that's the wrong way to say it. But fill out your financial aid packet that you get before you go to college, because it lets you know if you are eligible for grant money, which you don't have to pay back. And or what your financial aid package is. You can do that while you're starting to look at schools to see who will give you more money versus another school. So especially when you're looking at schools from that are out of state, that can be a lot more costly than an in-state school. Especially if you have like a 529. They're making 529s now where you can purchase them and your child can go anywhere in the United States. They don't have to just go to the state school that you're living in. For example, I'm in Virginia, so he doesn't have to have it in Virginia. And I just recently set up, it's not necessarily a 529, but I set up an IRA for my son for school. So if he chooses to go to school, that's his choice. If not, he has money. If he wants to go to trade school, or, if he wants to be an entrepreneur, whatever he wants to do, he'll have something to start with. So that's my goal, to give that to him when he, turns 18. So I have no idea. I think right now he tells me he wants to be a pharmacist, which makes sense because his dad's a pharmacist, so I get it. So I have no idea, but I know that's super expensive if that's what he wants to do. So I'm trying to get my little ducats in order now, because I'm going to pay for undergrad, but he going to have to pay for that master's and everything else. I'm only going to pay for the 4 year. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to leave that in his hands. So somebody just said I'm not talking to myself. I know I'm not, but it's different when I don't have a guest in the room, because I'm like, literally talking to them. But like just now, I realized I wasn't looking into the camera. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I should be looking into the camera so that I'm talking out and not just looking at my computer. But I was actually reading while I was talking, so I needed to see that. But you are right. I am not talking to myself. A couple people have popped through. Shout out to Riley Marketing. He does my editing for my podcast, and he does really cool behind-the-scenes stuff for me. I see him in here. And shout out to Dame Dobby. I think I said that right. For sitting in here listening to me talk, and I appreciate that. So at any rate, that's all I have. Little tidbits real quick. I am currently taking clients. I'm definitely doing taxes for personal and business. Please contact me. I'm also doing bookkeeping. If you need me to clean your books up and get you ready to get you prepared for your taxes, if you do more than one service with me, I don't charge you the set rate that I have. I give you a discounted rate because you have multiple packages. It's funny when you see the messages pop up. Okay, things that I have up and coming. Like I said, I'm taking new clients. I'm also holding a tax class on, what day is it? On March 5th from 3 to 5 here at Gather. So if you're interested, you can purchase a ticket off of Eventbrite. It is linked. I need to add it to my link tree, so I will do that today. But you can purchase tickets from Eventbrite, so I'll add it to my link tree so that you can purchase right off of, off of Instagram. So, at any rate, y'all have, it's raining here in Richmond today, so y'all be safe. I know that there's crazy weather going on in the Midwest, and we might get a little bit of it. So y'all be safe out there, and thank you for listening to my podcast. This is Wendy with an I podcast, powered by Wendy Consulting LLC. You can book an appointment with me at wendyconsultingllc.com. Oh yes, somebody just said you should hold a finance class. I am, but right now I thought it would be good to do taxes for people, because you truly can do your own taxes, but if you don't want to do it, I want you to feel comfortable with me doing your taxes, but I want you to know the deductions and things that you could be doing for your business and for your personal, if that's what you want to do. As far as like what I mean by itemized deductions, even if you're just doing a personal, just making you understand what itemized deductions are and how to get the bang for your buck and how you are able to itemize versus standard, because the standard deduction is super high now compared to what it was before, thanks to the Trump taxes that he did when he was in office. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me this afternoon. Again, this is Wendy with an I podcast, powered by Wendy Consulting. Yes, I would love to teach and talk to people about finances, because I'm all about educating the people, especially people of color. So let's continue to do what we have to do. Let's do things the right way. Let's get this money, and y'all have a very safe and blessed Black History Month, because I don't know how these others are going to air out a different order probably. So I'll just say that for this, but happy Black History Month, y'all. Y'all be safe out there. Peace.
Tighten you up like corsets. Personal and virtual lessons will save you fortunes. Facts. Check. On the road to being your own boss. This is the blueprint. Shared weekly with no cost. off secrets, they don't want you